All right, I believe I'm on. So this is, okay, now I think I'm on, and this is my 12th live episode. At the moment, I realize I got to change the title of this one before anybody sees it after I'm done with this. So here's what's going on today. I have 7 technique reviews to do. I don't have any, actually I did have some questions, but I'm going to be too busy with this. If while I'm in the middle of this streaming, one second here. Yeah, if I'm in the middle of streaming and you want to leave me a question, if I've got any energy left in me after going through 7 video reviews, I'll answer them. I was planning on doing this on Friday, but they're piling up and I didn't want to stress out over them. So I'm going to knock some of them out today. I might do another episode this weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So let me jump right in. Okay, the first one I'm going to look at is a high schooler who's in his second year. His name is Arnesh, and he says that he is kind of stuck in the 17-second range. I think his fastest one was 17 seconds. So I'm going to take a look at it. Looks like it's going to be kind of pixelated. Okay, so looks like he won this race because the guy ahead of him took a pretty spectacular fall. I think I want to see that again. Boom, trail leg, bam, ooh. Okay, so let's see that one more time. I'm gonna see it slow. Oh yeah, he had a really delayed trail leg. He was winning big. Fell. Ouch. Boom, into the hurdle. Okay. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to make fun of you. Okay. So Arnesh is this guy right here in the light blue. I'm going to slow it down. It doesn't want to slow down. If anybody sees this who has this kind of leverage, one of my dreams in life is that some company who has a really great slow motion sports video analysis software is going to sponsor me for this kind of stuff. So if you see this, reach out to me because this one is lacking, but it's free. Okay, so here comes Arnesh. Okay, Arnesh. So it's not the best angle right here. Let me see what this might be better. Okay. So let's look at your running in between. By the way, good job on not freaking out when that guy wiped out in front of you. Let me look at your, you know what, I can see you coming off the hurdle. This will be pretty good. Okay, so at this point, the timing is off with your trail leg and your lead leg. I mean, I like that your lead leg is coming down this close, but your trail leg shouldn't also be coming down at the same time. At this point, it should still be climbing up. And then when you end up right here, your knee should be up closer to your chest. Okay? So the first thing you need to work on is the action of your trail leg, pulling it by your armpit. That's an exaggeration, but it's a good mental picture. And then your knee should be way up high at this point. Looks like this was your lead arm is now way behind you. Should be bent 90 degrees. But here's that first step to the next hurdle. Not bad. Not great. C, bent over, landing on your heels, big gap between your knees. That is indicative of a high backside recovery, which I get because you're trying to get to the next hurdle on time. But Arnesh, you were looking for ways to get faster. This is one of them. It's how to run between the hurdles. You really want to get up tall. You want to sprint as fast as you can, and you want to be landing on the balls of your feet. And try to use full speed to get you to the next hurdle versus trying to stretch out to get to the next hurdle. Because running full speed, just by nature of it, you're going to be covering more ground every stride, but you'll have a better, faster stride. Okay? Okay, this isn't bad. So it's more that middle step. So really try to get your 3 hurdles, your 3 steps between the hurdle more even and fast. Okay, I like that your heel is tucked up. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, see what you're doing. As soon as you get your heel past the hurdle, you bend your knee. That's not bad. That's not bad. Well, I'll tell you what. What you really want to be doing is try to bring that lead leg down. You hooked it, and I thought my next click was going to watch your leg go down, and I was going to be really impressed, and you might teach me something, but really you're just traveling forward like that. So this makes me think that you could have got a little lower over that hurdle by having your knee straight a little bit more. Yeah, see that? You're actually having to go high enough over the hurdle to accommodate your bent knee. That's not a good thing. Yeah, so you still haven't, it's funny, you are leaping really far. Like you're at the top, but you're still at the top. You're still at the top. You haven't started going down yet. And you're just now showing any indication of going down. And you're still flying high. Okay, so Arnesh, you're just spending too much time in the air also. So try to leap towards, wrong one, darn it. Darn it. Try to leap towards that hurdle. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. We could see this guy wipe out again. Bam. Okay. All right. So leap towards the hurdle. And then when you get here, start shifting your hips forward so that your lead leg drops faster. And then also in between the hurdles, try to just focus on full speed running versus stretching out the way you are. And I think that will make a big difference for you. Okay. I'm going to go to Tiana. Okay, Tiana, running in the grass. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you're learning, and the grass is a good place to learn. But one thing to know, Tiana, is I can tell you're not running full speed. 1, because it's grass, but 2, because of the way you're putting your legs way out in front of you like this. That's like putting on the brakes. Your heels digging in there. It looks like you're slowing down. So really, you are saying subconsciously, I really don't want to go full speed at this hurdle because I'm afraid I'm going to wipe out. So let me go kind of jogging at it, which I get because you're learning. But the problem is when you jog at a hurdle, you don't really hurdle it. You end up jumping way high over it. See that? And then you just land down on the other side like you're landing in a pit of sand. Okay? So it doesn't, It doesn't allow me to really critique hurdling technique because it's so different than actual hurdling. It's because it's running, it's jogging and jumping and landing, jogging and jumping and landing. So, but let me give you some advice to go from the stage that you're at to where you want to be. So stop running on your heels. Try to gain confidence so that you can run over the top of the hurdle versus jumping way up high over the hurdle. You might want to practice your drills so that you have confidence, so that when you jump at the top of the hurdle, your legs will wrap around it. That way you don't go high and you come down off the hurdle really quickly and you're back to running again. Because really hurdling is supposed to be running, and then every fourth step you take an exaggerated run step, and then you have 3 steps in between. So every fourth is just an exaggerated run step, but there's no jumping and landing involved in it. So try to work on that. You know, the grass is good for that. I see that you put a shoe there. My guess is to see if you could step behind it, but you didn't quite make it. And I will tell you the reason why. Let's say, for example, you guys put this out at 6 feet because you saw in a video, maybe one of mine, that you're supposed to be about 6 or 7 feet out. That's true, but that only works if you're going full speed. If you're going less than full speed, you won't have the speed to get over the hurdle from way back here. So therefore you have to go closer. And when you go closer, it forces you to take a steep angle to get over the hurdle, which forces you to go high. So it's just all the same thing repeated over and over, that you have to go fast, you have to go low, and then you can learn from there. So I hope that wasn't too frustrating, and hopefully you learned something from that. Okay, JC. JC is this girl right here, winning this race. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I'm sorry, JC. I don't know what that's all about. I'm gonna have to pick up your video later. Sorry about that. Okay. If I have more of those, oh. Okay, folks, I'm gonna go on with the ones that I can do, and then the rest of these I'm gonna do another episode. Today is Wednesday. I'm gonna do an episode maybe tomorrow morning, depending on how my day goes, or if not, I'll do one on Friday afternoon or something, or Saturday, something like that. I'll try to do some more. So I apologize for those of you who this is happening to. I know what it is, but I'm not gonna bother you guys with the technical reason why this just happened. It's a mistake that I made. Anyway, so now I'm looking at, I don't know this person's real name. It's just sort of a screen name that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Okay. So, first thing, these people are hurdling in the parking lot. I'm a little bit terrified. And there's a coach standing there watching the whole thing. If that person were to fall, that coach would be probably in a lot of trouble. By the way, if anybody's watching who's an educator, something that I figured out about 3 years into being a coach and a teacher is how to make my decisions, is imagining something going wrong and me being considered blamed for this, and I get brought into court and I'm at the witness stand, and the prosecuting attorney says to me, "So let me get this straight. you let kids do blank. So basically, if I couldn't answer that question in a way that I wouldn't look like an idiot on the witness stand, on the stand, then I would say no. So in something like this, if this girl were to fall and get in trouble, and this coach got sued, and the attorney says, so let me get this straight. You set up a hurdle in a parking lot, and you let these high schoolers run over it, and you knew that she could trip and hit herself, I'd say, yeah, then I wouldn't want to do that. So my advice, don't hurdle in the parking lot or on concrete. Okay, so, but pushing that aside, let's see how she does here. Okay, you guys have been watching, you know what I'm going to say. Okay, first off, she is putting on the brakes the whole time. I'm going to watch this in full speed. Brake, 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 brake. Okay, so here's how you can tell. Each step gets smaller than the one before, and she's got her legs out, landing on her heels the whole time. So already she's lost all her speed, or most of her speed, going over the hurdle. And really, that's the last thing you want to do. You really want to accelerate over the hurdle, or at minimum, try to maintain your speed over the hurdle. But let's see what we got. Okay, you really want to try to have your heel up against your butt, but it's still okay. Still okay. Up. See the fact that I could see the sole of your shoe? That is telling me that you are now in the process of swinging this leg around the side to get over the hurdle. Likely that's because subconsciously your brain has assessed the situation and you're thinking, if I bring my leg straight through, I'm probably going to kick my shin on this bar. So you're swinging it around. And that is because you should have taken off from back here. But again, there's a lot of things that our brains figure out subconsciously, and you might be thinking, I could hit this hurdle and fall down and break my teeth on the concrete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe by getting up close to this hurdle. All subconscious. So anyway, it's forcing you to swing your leg around from the side, and it's forcing you to go too high. And holy smokes. Okay, that is beautiful, like a dancer or a cheerleader, but not a hurdler. I wonder if you were, I can tell you, this is a very typical look for cheerleader dancers who try to hurdle. Oh my gosh, I've seen this so many times. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. But not fast for hurdling. Okay, so, because really what you want is you want to take off from about here. You want to reach the top of your jump about right here, and you want it to be just over the top of the hurdle. And then you want to come down on the hurdle and strike the ground about right here. But what you're doing is you're leaping up with a really high lead leg. Look at that. Look at that. I'm marveling at it, actually. Okay, so as you can see, too high. And in case you don't know, the higher you go, the longer you're going to spend in the air. The longer you spend in the air, the more speed you're going to lose. But you already lost speed when you put on the brakes. But now you're losing more because you've lost all your propulsion from striking against the ground. Also, the higher you go, takes longer to come down. Plus, the higher you go, you now have to deal with gravity, which is now going to pull you into the ground. So here you are landing with both legs. That's because you were too high. And then now, I'm guessing, unless you're really, really strong, we're going to see the effects of gravity as it tries to pull you into the ground. So we should see your knee buckle a little bit, and then again. Okay, see, this is what it looks like when your knee is buckling because gravity's pulling you down, and then your other leg just kind of drops down too in order to not fall. Okay, so what I recommend for you is to look at my video that I have on YouTube that shows, well, there's one called 6 techniques to level up your hurdling, which you can get from my website. The other is there's one that shows Olympian women running the 100-meter dash, and that shows you perfect technique. And if you look at that and then you watch this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? It is really difficult. I'm going to assume you're a dancer or a gymnast, something, or cheerleader. And I can tell you historically, it's very hard to break that habit. But you need to do it so that you can get down off the hurdle faster. Okay? But overall, the concept is this. You want to maintain horizontal velocity all the time. As soon as you leap with your legs straight like that, you are now getting a lot of vertical velocity. So you shifted your energy in the wrong direction. And then you just have to keep repeating that over and over. Okay? So lots of things there. Moving on. I have a feeling Noah is also going to have the same issues. We'll find out. Ah, darn it. This one too. Okay. I'm going to give you guys the high-level reason why this is happening. Again, I think it has to do with the analysis software that I use. And one of the reasons why I want to get another one, but I don't want to pay for it, I want somebody to sponsor me, is sometimes videos I get, I put them on here and they're sideways. So I have to take them into my editing software, turn them the right way, and then resave them as other file types. This time I did it, I thought I figured out a clever way to do these faster, because this does take a while. And this is what, something went wrong, and I apologize. So instead of 7 reviews today, I think I'm only doing 3 or 4. So, but like I said, I'll do these other 2 either tomorrow or over the next 2 days. Okay. One of these is going to be the correct one. Okay. So this person, Gerciano, okay, Saint Benedict. Okay, let me see what I can see here. It's not obvious. Overall, pretty good, but there's definitely some floating over the hurdle. Let's figure out what's going on there. It doesn't, I mean, obviously I don't know you, but, oh, then again, this isn't full speed. Let me see some. It does feel a little bit, and it's maybe not obvious to everybody, but when you see as many videos as I do, things just sort of jump out at you. And sometimes you can recognize when a person put the brakes on a little bit, and it kind of makes me look, yeah, it's so subtle, but it's right here that you're like accelerating, and then you take one step to slow down right here, and then you take the big step to get over the hurdle. When really you want the last step to be the small step, but you made it the big step because you made this one the small step. Really, you should have just stayed with steady steps, and then you would have been closer to this hurdle. That way you can get your feet underneath you. Okay? So, commit. When you go off that hurdle, to that hurdle, you just got to commit and say, I'm going to do it. I am not going to slow down. I'm going to accelerate through that hurdle. Okay, so that's the first thing, and I can tell you it's significant. Okay, so again, this step is not right. Your knee should be bent, and your foot should be here, so it keeps you low and it keeps you quick over that hurdle. This is setting you up to slow down. It's also setting you up to get an angle over the hurdle. Okay, but this looks terrific. I love this. That looks good too. I can tell that your foot is also rotated, or your hip is rotated, because I can see the bottom of your shoe again. So you're also not bringing your your lead leg straight through. You're swinging it around. It's subtle, but it's there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, except you're maybe too high. That actually looks good. But your trail leg at this point shouldn't be this far forward with your knees like this. When you're right here at the top of your jump, you shouldn't have pulled your trail leg through so soon. So let me see why that's happening. Okay, here's why. This is a good video, because if you watch a lot of my videos, sometimes you see a lot of the same things happen over and over. This one doesn't happen all the time. Okay, so what I can see is I'm looking at your right leg, your plant leg, which ends up being your trail leg. You didn't fully push off of it because you're up on your toes and your knee is still bent and it never fully straightened out. So that's kind of a lack of commitment, and it's going to bring this leg through too soon. You really want to plant that leg, drive off of it hard, fully extend into the top of that hurdle, right? And then pull your trail leg through. That will be a lot faster than what you're doing, because what you're doing is you're ending up like this, and now you got to let your trail leg just sort of float around for a while. Plus, this is a great video because it's giving me a lot of cool stuff to look at. So let's look at like where you reach the top. So you reach the top somewhere between here and here. So definitely too high over that hurdle, but you're on the front of the hurdle. Now you're coming down on the back of the hurdle, which is good, but you're too high. Okay, so here you are, and if I'm not mistaken, no, okay, that wasn't, okay, so here you are, the front half of your foot is touching down. You look like you're falling down. Your arm is down, and it should be up, like you're ready to run. And then, okay, this happens. There's that knee buckle because you were too high. So at this point, when your foot is fully planted there, this leg should be straight. Your hip should be where it's at, sort of, but a little more forward and up to all the way you are. But this arm should be bent at 90 degrees like you're running. Okay, and then also right here, your knee should have been up higher, but yours, the reason why it's lower is because it was higher earlier because you pulled it through too soon. You know, so it just ended up not right. And then, woo, this massive, almost a straight leg out here. Really, you want to bring that trail leg down powerfully. Oh, look at that. Holy smokes. Okay. I don't usually see that either. You're showing me a lot of interesting things on this video. Thanks, Churciano. Okay. Look at these massively long strides. Okay, so I see what you're doing. You're saying, I need to do this in order to get to this next hurdle in 3 steps. I need to stretch out really far. I need to take a huge, massively long stride there. And then I need to take another long stride there to get over that. Ooh, can you see that leg swing around from the side? Watch this lead leg. That's what I was saying before. Look at that. Right there. It's angled. Okay. So I see what you're doing. You are relying on slow, stretched out steps to get over the hurdle. You would be much better off if you just said, I am going to stay low. I'm going to maintain my speed. I'm not going to slow down as I go over these hurdles. I'm going to believe that I can do it. And I'm going to run between these hurdles, not by stretching out, but by running absolutely as fast as I can. That will give you the speed over the hurdle to maintain your speed and long, fast strides between the hurdle versus what you're doing, okay? Which is slowing down, jumping high, stretching out. All that is losing speed. So try it, but my recommendation is to pull the hurdles closer. First try it with the hurdles closer. When you get comfortable with that, then gradually spread out the hurdles as you do this, and you'll learn how to do this. And don't practice with hurdles at official spacing, because it just teaches you how to hurdle like this. Okay, so those were the 4 or so video reviews for today. 3 of them I messed up, and I'm going to show those videos sometime over the next 3 days. I'll do another one of these live streams. I do want to mention I have another personal best video coming out in about 15 minutes at 9 p.m. this evening, Eastern Time. It's a second video from Mark Andre. He's the college hurdler that I'm helping, who's dealing with his arm coming over the top and the straight lead leg, stuff like that. So it's showing his progress. I put out a second one for Colton Westbrook yesterday, which is interesting, showing how he did. I'll put out a new one for Malik this week. I'm working on a master's sprinter who's trying to hurdle. And then I've got this really super talented high school sophomore girl who I'm going to start a series on soon. So let me duck out of here and see. Okay, no questions. Okay, so that's it for, let me change something real quick. That's it for this episode. Again, I apologize for the mistakes, and I'll get those corrected. So that's it. If you want me to see your video, go to acemethodcoaching.com. You'll see the area where you can send me your video. If you have any questions, you could question me there, or you can go to my website, acemethodcoaching@gmail.com, and I will answer questions there. If you see this and you want me to help you with your hurdling, there's multiple ways I can do that. One is if you're a beginner, I sell a whole lot of what's called Hurdling 101. It's an instructional video that takes you step by step and shows you how to go from knowing nothing to being very proficient. I also have a training plan, one for coaches to help you get through the whole season. And it is very in-depth. It's not just, here's some workouts. It is 60 pages of workouts that evolve from the beginning of the season and progress you all the way to the end of the season to get your hurdlers faster and faster. I also have that same version modified for hurdlers. So just same thing. It's a few pages shorter, written in a different language, still English, but not speaking to a coach, speaking more to the athlete. And then if you want to be coached by me and have me review your videos all the time, I've got this ridiculously affordable hurdler subscription and coach subscription where you can send me unlimited videos and questions, and then I can answer them and check out videos and send you feedback like this. So the way this works is if you send me one, I'll do it for free. I'm going to lump it into one of these live streams. That way other people can learn from them as well. But if you want more, you can either pay for one for $29 or for $29 a month, unlimited correspondence with me. It's a no-brainer. It's ridiculously cheap and probably too cheap. But I'm doing it like this for the first year of this thing, and we'll see how it goes. So far it's going great until I get too busy to do these free ones. So know that. So if you have any questions, I'm going to check one more time really quick. No questions. So like I said, feel free to go to my website, go to my YouTube channel, and leave me questions, send me videos, and hopefully I will see you on the next live stream. Coach Ace out.